y'all, my name is Serena and this is Serena's Art Adventures. Welcome to the channel. Today I want to go over a couple of different websites with you that I have ordered some online yarn from. With us possibly having to buy more yarn online, I thought it would be a great time to start some yarn review videos. So start looking forward to yarn review videos coming from my channel, along with my pattern suggestions and my TikTok reviews. Yarn review is another video segment that I want to begin. So today is pretty much the first real yarn review that I'm going to be doing with you guys, and I'm looking forward to continuing these yarn review videos. Let me know how you like them, or if you think that there's anything I need to add in the comments, as this is my first one. I do also want to apologize for the background here. I do have some paint for the background. I added a wall last time I was home, and this time that I'm home, I'm only home for a day before we went to the Dominican and a day after. So this right here is the least of my worries right now, but if it bothers you, I do apologize. It is a little bit unfinished at the moment. I will get it finished, hopefully, fingers crossed, next time I come home, which hopefully will be this summer. Today I'm gonna start with some yarn that I purchased from Hobbii. This right here is Megaball from Hobbii. All of Megaball from Hobbii I have purchased over a year ago, and I have caked it all up at this point. I have heard after I caked all my yarn up that it's not good to cake it all up so much before you use it because it can stretch the yarn. But what's done is done. I've learned my lesson, and I don't have as much time to cake up my yarn now as I used to anyway. So it's perfectly fine with me. So I'm gonna start with this beautiful color of Megaball yarn. I love this color. They have some very vibrant colors of this Megaball yarn. So the colors and the color selection is fantastic. The price is also fantastic on this Megaball yarn. The thing that's not fantastic is even when I use a metal crochet hook with this yarn, it is splitty and it is a little bit scratchy to the touch as well. In my opinion, it is great for people who are on a budget or great for people who are just beginning to learn to crochet. I would suggest using a metal hook with this yarn. If you try to use a plastic or a resin hook, it will probably snag quite a bit. I still like this yarn though, and for budget-friendly items, I would still use this. I just don't think it's great for wearables and such. However, I have heard that there are ways that you can manipulate your yarn, your acrylic yarn, to be a little bit softer. But as far as the Megaball yarn goes, since it is an affordable yarn and it has such a great color selection, I'm going to rate this yarn a 7 out of 10. I really like the price point, and it's very affordable for a lot of people, and a lot of people that are just getting into crochet really like to use acrylic yarn because of its affordability, and its color range is fantastic. I just have to take a few points off for it being scratchy and a little bit splitty when you're working with it. But other than that, this is a great yarn. I'm doing a video, you're gonna sit. The next yarn that I want to review for you guys. Sorry, I have a little nose poking me over here. Yes, sir. The other yarn that I wanted to review for you guys is this Brava 500 worsted weight yarn. Now this Brava 500 I got from WeCrochet. I was put onto the WeCrochet website because I was looking for Tunisian crochet hooks because I got Tony Lipsy's Tunisian crochet book and I was trying to learn Tunisian crochet. And then I did find these big balls of yarn on that website as well. So this is Brava 500, it's worsted weight yarn, and I have worked with this yarn a little bit, but I also have worked with the Brava a lot as well. This is also from WeCrochet, and it is a fantastic yarn. I used a wooden Tunisian crochet hook with this, and it did not split at all. It really did glide really nicely. So in my opinion, this is at least one step up from the other acrylic yarn, but it still doesn't deserve a 9 or a 10 because in my opinion, a 10 acrylic yarn would be like the mandala yarn. In my opinion, that is super soft acrylic yarn that is really well structured, and a 9 would probably be Big Twist. So this one right here is going to get a solid 8 from me. I really like this yarn, but I still think that it doesn't quite compare to other yarns like the Big Twist acrylic. Now the Big Twist line, in case I have not yet mentioned it to you guys, I did hear from Crochet Vision on YouTube. I follow her, and she's been following the Big Twist debacle because she uses it for her business a lot. And she was able to determine that Hirschner's is going to be taking over the Big Twist line, which is fantastic. So if you don't follow her, I highly recommend, if you're looking for updates on Big Twist yarn, Crochet Vision on YouTube is a great option for you to follow that news stuff on the Big Twist yarn. But anyways, if you're not getting Big Twist or you don't have Big Twist available, this is a better option than the Megaball if you ask me, because of the quality of yarn. They still have a decent color selection as well. I really was into the purples, obviously. When I bought this, I got some purple and then like this mixed color, and I did get some black as well. But I really like this yarn from WeCrochet. Now these are more of a 4-weight. Yeah, these are more of a 4-weight acrylic yarn. I do believe the Megaball is a 4-weight as well, so these are very comparable to the Megaball yarn, but in my opinion, I would choose this one over the Megaball because it's less scratchy. Very smooth and soft and doesn't split quite as much. These from WeCrochet are a better acrylic yarn option than the Megaball from Hobbii if you're looking for a Megaball, because this is about the same size as the Megaball from Hobbii. Now, while we're on the topic of acrylic yarn and acrylic yarn from WeCrochet specifically, I have been using this 2-weight, I apologize. I've been using it to crochet I was gonna do like warm colors on one side and cool colors on the other side. It's like a cardigan, but the colors that they have, I did take a picture of the color pack before it was all mangled, before I went on vacation, and I really like this color pack. These colors go really well together. I've really found that anything that says Knit Picks on the yarn label, I've really liked. I don't know if Knit Picks is the brand that manufactures it and WeCrochet is the brand that sells it. I do believe so, but both of the websites are on the label here. And this is a 100% premium acrylic, and I would agree. I've been using not even a Furls metal hook. Furls metal hooks are very smooth. I learned how smooth the Furls metal hooks were when I was watching, I believe it's Elise Rose Crochet. I was watching her channel, and her husband were doing a test on the metal on the different crochet hooks, and Furls crochet hooks were the best metal. So after I saw that, I did go and get a few metal crochet hooks from Furls, and they were fantastic. I did not have the size that I wanted to use in the metal crochet hook with me when I took this overseas, so I was using a cheaper metal hook, and it didn't snag at all on this yarn. I did originally try using a resin hook. It didn't work as well. The resin hooks, the plastic hooks, in my opinion, just don't work as well with this type of yarn. It's great for like amigurumi yarn and other types of yarn, but acrylic yarn in general, just please don't use plastic yarn with acrylic. It makes like a squeaky sound and it splits the yarn, and you will hate your crochet experience if you crochet with a plastic hook with acrylic yarn. That is just my take. Let me know in the comments below if you agree or disagree. I'd love to know your opinions. But this yarn right here is a 2-weight yarn, machine wash, tumble dry low, just like the other Brava yarns as well. But I really do like this, so I wanted to share this acrylic yarn with you guys as well. Also purchased from the WeCrochet website when I purchased the Tunisia crochet hooks and the purple yarn as when I purchased all of that. This is the black yarn, so typically they have these Megaballs wrapped in plastic, and so that's really nice. I'm going to move away from the acrylic yarn and move towards this soft and beautiful unicorn yarn. This is unicorn yarn from Hobbii. I haven't had a chance to use it as much as I would have liked to. I was very nervous to make something that I wasn't going to use a lot. When I first bought this yarn, I was pretty new into crochet, and I really didn't want to ruin it. But this colorway is absolutely gorgeous. It's got blues and yellows and purples in it. I'll get a better aerial shot for you guys. But this right here is a beautiful skein of yarn, and they have a solid green as well that I tried to cake up, but it got snagged and it's knotted up right now, and I don't have the patience to try to fix it. So I'm kind of saving this one until I can cake up the green one as well. But I have heard again, don't kick up your yarn until around the time you're going to be using it, because it will kind of like stretch the fibers and it's just not great for your yarn. So I'm kind of sad that I didn't know that before I did this, but you live and you learn. So this yarn right here, it's a wool yarn. It's a lighter weight yarn as well. So I really do like this yarn. I like this colorway. It is so soft. This yarn is honestly softer to me than like the acrylic yarns and stuff. I just kind of want to, you know, snuggle with it. So I really like this yarn, but it is a spendier yarn. So if you're not into the spendier hand-dyed yarns, then this isn't for you. But I just have to say, almost any hand-dyed yarn is going to get this from me. It's going to get a high rating. I have been to a lot of smaller stores that have hand dyers, and I felt a lot softer of yarn than this, surprisingly. So I can't consciously give it a 10, knowing that I felt other softer yarns, but I really do like it. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a 9, because it's hard for me not to give it a 10, but it's not fair to me to give it to a 10 because I felt softer and better wool yarns, but not a lot. This is a fantastic for what it is. For what it is definitely at least a 9 out of 10, if not a 9.5 out of 10. But I love this yarn. I love the color options that it has, and I love that it has some that are solid that kind of match the ones that are multicolored. So this is a fantastic option for you. They don't have a ton of colorways in this yarn, but they do have enough for you to make some very beautiful pieces. The next yarn that I want to show you is one that I was using before I even found Posh Big Twist, or before Posh Big Twist even came out. It's this Baby Snuggle from Hobbii. Now, if the Big Twist is taken over by Hirschner's, then you won't need to find an alternative. But while we're waiting for it to become available through Hirschner's, if you're looking for a good alternative yarn, this is a great option. It is a little bit more spendy, but I have worked with this yarn and I do really enjoy the feel of this yarn and the stitch definition and how nice and tight we can get these stitches for amigurumi. So this is a fantastic option. And we have a 6 bulky. Now I kind of agree with that, but at the same time I feel like maybe this is more of like a 5, because if this is a 4, I don't feel like, I would say this is a 5 or 6 weight bulky yarn. But this one right here I have used obviously before, and it doesn't shed too easily. It does shed easier than the Posh, but it feels very similar and the end result feels very similar as well. Now this yarn comes in at about $8.80 per skein when it is not on sale. Hobbii does have a lot of online sales though, so you can probably find it for even a little bit cheaper than that. The Hobbii Baby Snuggle yarn is 100% polyester and 120 meters per skein. It is considered a 6mm super bulky. Again, I kind of think it tends to be more of a 5mm super bulky. They recommend a 7mm crochet hook. I think it works up really nicely with a 5.5 to 6mm crochet hook. That's what I have used on it in the past. In this video that I am taking of me working up a swatch, I am actually using a 5mm crochet hook, and it does keep the stitches nice and tight, as you can see. I am going to give the Baby Snuggle yarn a 9 out of 10, only because I do still prefer the Big Twist Posh yarn over this yarn, but this is one of my favorite polyester yarns. Now, there is one other yarn that I bought that's not from WeCrochet or from Hobbii, and I bought this yarn from Premier. This yarn right here, and this one, of course, I grabbed one without a label. This yarn right here, the Just Chenille yarn, it's okay. But it is yarn that you can get from the dollar store. But when I bought it in a cone like this, the little tiny skeins from the dollar store that are $1 each, I believe they fit like 20 of those little skeins on here, and it's normally about $20. But I think I got this one on sale and it was like $15. So I was like, ooh, it's a steal of a deal. I never tried the yarn or felt the yarn before. And so I bought these mega cones of yarn in yellow, brown, white, gray, pink, black, and blue. This says it's a number 5 bulky yarn. This one said it's a number 6 bulky yarn, so I guess maybe it could be right. But this number 5 bulky yarn, yeah, it is a little bit thinner than this Baby Snuggle, but overall, this Baby Snuggle yarn is so soft. It's not quite as good as Posh. I feel like Posh is a 10 to me. I love the Posh yarn. So this Baby Snuggle is probably like a 9. But this one right here, Just Chenille Premier, I've tried a lot of different yarns, including Bernat Baby Blanket, which you can get on the Yarnspirations website or at Michael's. I've bought this Bernat Baby Blanket yarn as well, and it doesn't shed as much either. I don't like the structure of, it's not quite as cylindrical when it's all caked up like this, but it is still a really good yarn and really decent for amigurumi. In my opinion, I'd rather even have this than this yarn right here. Now, this one, blanket yarn, is saying it's a 6 as well, and it is a little bit thicker than the Baby Snuggle yarn. But the Baby Snuggle Bernat yarn, I do like this yarn as well. It is nice and soft, but I even like this more than I like this, and this is no longer my favorite now that I found Posh and Baby Snuggle. So I'm literally going to give this yarn right here a 5. It is one of, well, you know what? I'm going to give this yarn right here a 4 because it is literally one of the worst that I've used. So if you have any suggestions on what I can do with these big old skeins of yarn or whatever you, cones of yarn, let me know. I don't know if I should just work up some quick blankets in a really loose gauge so that it works up really quickly, or what I should do. I thought about trying it for amigurumi, but the funny story about that is I started amigurumi with this yarn. I literally got the magic circle done, and this was last time I was home. I started this in a magic circle, and I was just like, I don't like this at all whatsoever. What size hook did I use? I used a 5 size hook, and this calls for 5mm knitting needles or 6.5mm hook. So a 5mm hook should have been a good size for this, but yeah, the stitch definition just is not there. Yeah, we're gonna give this Just Chenille yarn from Premier a 4 out of 10, but the stitch definition is also just terrible, but it is soft. It does glide nicely on this metal hook, but I'm counting that part of the reason being is because of the hook itself. Look how much better this one looks with good stitch definition, and it does shine a little bit still, but when you look at that and you compare it to this flimsy, I mean, this even has better structure. It's like holding itself together better. Personally, this one is softer. This one's still pretty soft, but I can feel the yarn, the strand of yarn underneath a lot easier in this one than I can on this one. I really, really prefer this gray. Oh, the stitch definition is a lot nicer and neater looking too, in my opinion. But I might try some different amigurumi projects with this. If you have any great ideas, let me know. The one thing I do like about this yarn is the colors. Like, look how vibrant this pink is. It's absolutely beautiful, very vibrant colorways, which is fantastic. So I don't want to go over too many options with you guys today. So hopefully I went over a few good options for you guys and helped you determine which yarns are worth the online buy and which yarns are not worth the online buy. We will all be missing our Joann's and our Big Twist. Hopefully Hirschner's is going to have that Big Twist yarn available soon for those of us who've fallen in love with it, and hopefully it continues to be of the same quality that we're used to it being from Joann. Thank you all so much for joining me today. If you don't mind liking the video if you liked it, feel free to subscribe if you want to see more content from me. And if you want to be notified when I come out with more content, please feel free to hit the notification bell as well. Again, I want to thank you all for being here today, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day.